ProWrestlingSheet.com.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Collider Body Slam Raw Recap. So much to go over. Hey, it's a new Raw, apparently.
A new regime is in place.
That's right, a new regime, but it looks
exactly like the old regime.
Exactly. Here comes a new king, looks like the old king. Well, I am your host here, John Rocha. Welcome, as always, the CEO of Pro Wrestling Sheet there, Ryan Satin. How are you, brother?
I am doing great.
Yeah?
This is going to be an interesting show because it was a lot of smoke and mirrors. And, I'm not talking about the old theme song. Like, it was a lot of smoke and mirrors. Like, we're doing everything different. And I'm looking forward to talking about this with you.
Yeah.
You seemed much more fired up than me.
Oh, my God.
But it was a lot of, like, the same, it felt like, after, and we'll get into this whole opening thing, but it was an odd strategy. There's that gif from Dodgeball, I believe, is the movie it's from, where that's a bold strategy copy, and
right.
that was
Let's
kind
see
of,
if it works.
Yeah, that was kind of the theme for Monday Night Raw this week.
Yeah, I felt like that way to me too. When they came out, they're kind of built up from what had happened the week before. This idea of like going a little meta, talking about how the fans
Raw
are upset.
sucks.
Yeah, Raw sucks. All this kind of having Rollins come out and be the messenger for that kind of thing. Going against Corbin. We're coming off of TLC. Corbin got beat up at TLC with a bunch of chairs. Lost that match to Strowman. I thought overall TLC was an enjoyable pay-per-view. I wouldn't say that it was one of the greats, but I would say it was enjoyable. Had some good action.
Yeah.
I like the Ronda running in interference with the Charlotte and Becky and Asuka match.
You liked that?
I did, because it sets up a triple threat now between the three of them. Which
If
I
they
think,
go that way.
I feel like they're going to go that way. Whoa!
I don't know. No, I don't know. Like, I get so nervous. Nervous is the wrong word. It's not my life in hands. But I feel like, a little bit dramatic. But I get we just know Vince is so stubborn.
Yeah.
And
You think they'll move Becky out of the way, and it'll be Ronda Charlotte?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me if they start going down that path and we have another Daniel Bryan fight back, anger from fans. We're like, no, we want Becky. Because I did a poll over the weekend.
Yeah.
I did it after TLC. I said, what match do you want to see main event WrestleMania? I said, Ronda versus Becky. Mm-hmm. Ronda versus Becky versus Charlotte. Charlotte versus Ronda.
Yeah.
And a universe title match. And it had like over 10,000 votes.
That's nice.
I want to say it had like 11,000 or something like that.
That's good.
That's a good chunk of people as a little bit of a barometer, you know. And dude, it was resounding resounding amount of yes towards Rousey versus Becky.
Yeah.
Rousey versus Becky, just one-on-one. Man versus man, that's what I think the people want to see the most. The threesome. The three-way got a little bit of a good vote too. But Charlotte versus Ronda really did not. And I do think
nobody wants to see that.
And I do think that after
other than Charlotte
and Vince.
Yeah, Vince.
And Ric Flair.
Yeah, and Flair.
But I think that
although if Flair's being honest,
I think Ric Flair.
I think he'd want to see Becky with Ronda.
No, Ric Flair, he's going to see Ronda. He's going to see his daughter in the main event against one-on-one. He's going to start crying. Ric Flair. He cries over everything. He's just going to start crying. He's not going to cry over Becky,
I know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think that, after Survivor Series, where they had where Charlotte just beat the hell out of Ronda Rousey, I think that it was a sign that is still where Vince's heart lies. Like, that's where it's, and I think that, it might be, I could see Vince being like, look at, and I don't know if this is the case, but I could see Vince being like, I need someone who's going to do exactly what I tell them to do. Not have this wild card where you don't know what she's going to say on social media. Like, you don't know what she's going to do. That's all. It's not that I don't want it. It's not that I don't think the people want it, because I do think the people want it. I just fear that Vince, being stubborn Vince, will continue on with the path that he has laid out.
Well, don't walk out here like they did at the beginning of Raw and start talking about, we're listening to you, the fans, you're the authority now, blah, 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 and not actually go through with satisfying the fans. So it would shock me if we went Charlotte and Ronda at WrestleMania, because that's a big fuck you to the fans. And the majority of fans, I don't care what they lie and tell you about in their PR press releases, the majority of fans want Ronda versus Becky. in some form. If you do the triple threat, great. That's fine too. I'll take it for now. But the Ronda versus Becky is the one that everybody wants overwhelmingly. And don't lie to yourselves and fool to yourselves that it's not the truth. That is the truth. So let's get into it. They walk out. Vince comes out, no chance, and they're looking skinnier. So
I mean, he's old.
Looking older. And that's what I was getting at. He's older, skinnier. You can tell the beats are still there, but they're a little slower and they're a little less with menace. And, kind of hurts me a little bit to see Vince getting old. As a person who suffered seeing my father getting old and passing away of cancer, it's tough seeing Vince getting old. A guy you've seen for decades. You see the progression of age on him. And so, I still remember when he's wearing the yellow blazer or the cloth, the wool yellow blazer, whatever it was, and talking with a full head of hair. So to see him where he's in. But he still looks sprite in that way. Does his thing, addresses the fans, plays with the fans. He's such a master with the fans.
Yeah, before we even get into everything he said, it freaking blows my mind that 99% of the people in that arena know that he is behind Raw.
Yeah, they do.
They know it. He's literally coming out to say that I am the one that's part of this. And even though they put a lot of the blame on Baron Corbin, it started off with Vince being like, hey, I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much genius from one person or whatever he said to kind of put himself over, which is great. One person can only have so much genius or whatever. But he's coming out there to take some of the blame as to what's going on here.
Yeah.
So, a minuscule. Yeah, the most minor.
Like this much out of a circle.
But even that much out of the circle, 99% of the people watching that in the arena know that he is the freaking circle.
Yep.
And it never ceases to amaze me that he still gets pops. That he still gets
mad pops.
These massive pops when his music hits. Yeah. When he's coming out to apologize for the show sucking.
I think subconsciously every fan in every arena when they go to a WWE event knows they wouldn't be there without Vince.
I guess.
And so they give Vince his due in that way.
But even Vince was expecting the boo. That's why Vince, when he's like, oh, I hope you guys don't boo me, it's because Vince knows that you tell a crowd, I hope they don't boo me, and they all start booing you. That's what they do. Like he knows, and even he was surprised. Like even Vince was like,
but they don't
glad we can be civil about this.
I don't know if you're right though with the 99%. I think people see Stephanie and Triple H and Shane and Paige. I think they see them as the people that run it. Do you really think that people? I don't think a lot of people know that Vince is still pulling the strings in the back because you don't see Vince that much, and so out of sight is out of mind for a lot of people. So they may know Vince is responsible, but they don't know Vince is to blame, and that's an interesting thing to explore. Because Stephanie came out and got booed to the nines. Triple H came out. Pop like crazy.
Yeah, they love Papa Triple H.
Pop like crazy. Yeah. So so that tells you where they think the blame lies, which is Stephanie McMahon, and not anywhere else, it seems like.
Which is so weird to me.
Well, I think it's kind of accurate in that way because, so Vince has done so many great things. I don't think Stephanie has necessarily anything of note that you can really point to that's 100% hers that the fans completely loved. And don't give me that women's evolution stuff. That ain't nothing. That's all Triple H. And
that's not necessarily.
Well,
you
a lot
can't
of Triple
say
H.
that's all Triple H.
Fine.
Because Stephanie played a part in that too.
Yeah. And she never stops telling you how big of a part she played in it. So you get them all coming out. They all say what they need to say. They all say that the product hasn't been good. They kiss the butts of the fans and blah, blah, blah. It was all just a sham for me to watch. I was getting more and more angry as I was watching it because, yes, I get that they're meta, but none of them took responsibility for being the creative people behind the whole thing. None of them said, it was my decision to do this. It was my decision to do that. It was Vince's decision. Like, Vince should have taken so much ownership of this. All they did was blame Corbin and say Corbin was the reason and Corbin was in charge. We left him in. Even Stephanie shamelessly blaming Corbin.
Well, Stephanie assigned Corbin the job.
Right. But it was Vince.
We're supposed to go. And that's one of the things I struggle with too while watching a segment like this because I'm like, which brain am I supposed to be thinking with here?
Right.
My kayfabe brain?
Oh, good call.
Or my real brain that knows what's going on? Because, they told a lot.
Well, no, you can't talk about ratings and have the kayfabe brain. You can't.
Yeah, that's why it's a little.
You can't.
To me, I agree with you, especially when Vince comes out and goes like, "One man can't do it all alone."
Yep.
And then they go to, but it's Corbin who's that one man.
Nope.
Like, wait, what? Like, I am completely with you in that regard. That it's to me one of the other things that bothered me was and I plan on at some point today going back and rewatching the episode where Vince McMahon announced the Attitude Era.
Oh, yeah.
Where he went back and said, we're not going to insult your intelligence anymore. And he listed all these things that they're gonna do. Because I tweeted it over the weekend. I said I watched it, and I hadn't watched it in a long time.
Me too.
But when you watch it, he makes poignant effort, poignant points along the way, and says we've done this, we're gonna stop, we're gonna try and do it like this, we're gonna stop doing that.
And then they actually did it.
And then they did it. And I plan to go back, and that's why I plan to go back and watch it. I'm going to try at some point today to watch that episode of Raw, because I'm wondering if the episode that followed was still the same Raw,
right,
or if they made changes that day.
Right.
Because I really think that was it was weird, because they come out there, right, and they say that there's no more absent management. The days of absent management are over. Absentee management is over.
Which doesn't exist, by the way.
You're the authority now. All these kinds of buzzwords.
Which we're not, by the way.
Yeah, we're not.
It's all lies.
I would bring back Pyro. I've said it 10 times now since they've said you're the authority. If I'm the authority, I'm bringing back Pyro.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't want to necessarily say lies, but that's why I said smoke and mirrors, because it's
that's fair.
It's really fancy way of saying things without having to show that what you're going to do.
It's a fancy way of lying, Ryan.
I wouldn't say a lie, because a lot of it was in the coming months, or the way it was worded was it wasn't necessarily.
But they're not going to put the fans in charge of shit. They're not going to put. They're not. That's never been Vince's MO. That's never been Vince's MO. So all of a sudden at 77, you know what, or however old he is, you know what? I'm going to do this. What he should have done, really, if it was real, I'm talking ratings, he should have said, I realize I'm out of step. I don't need to be in control of creative anymore. I'm going to step aside. It's been an awesome run. I've had all these decades. Like I said, I am the reason all of you are in here. Do the whole Hogan speech. I was selling out stadiums when he was selling meat out of the back of a truck. All that kind of, I would have loved him do a whole promo where he's saying, it's been awesome. It's been a great time, but I realize now I'm out of step. I'm handing it over to Triple H and to Stephanie, and I'm legitimately 1,000% stepping out. I'm signing away everything. They will be in control creatively. They are the people that you need to look for in the future. And now I'm moving past just to sit back and enjoy what was a product that I created and be a fan again. That would have been awesome.
Yes, I agree wholehearted with you. But you have to remember who you're talking about.
I know who I'm talking about, but I was wishing for this to happen.
It would literally, imagine if Steve Jobs, I guess Steve Jobs is a bad example because he left the company, but
like if Christian stepped away from the Schmodown.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
40 years
something
from
that would be much more universally known, but most people who start a thing like that, it would be like Lorne Michaels just stepping away.
Which he did.
No, he was forced out.
Well, sure, he
didn't just step away.
You're right.
And the second he could, he came back.
Yeah.
And he's the reason it was successful. So,
and he barred those 2 years of shows from being seen for quite some time.
Yeah,
you can see them. Now, before.
Yeah. But it would be, but it'd be similar to Lorne Michaels, just bowing out, and I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Everything ends, though, man. No, everything ends,
especially creatively. But think about this. Okay. Here's a better example.
No, I think I get you.
Here's one more example. I feel like this is a more accurate one.
Okay.
It would be like Steven Spielberg just being like, I'm giving my Amblin or DreamWorks or whatever, I'm giving it away and I'm not having any involvement anymore. He would never do that. He's never going to do that.
George Lucas sold Star Wars.
And he hates himself for it, and you know it.
But he still sold it.
He's so mad about all those movies, and he hates it. And even if those movies are great, because I think all those movies are great.
All of them?
I like all the new Star Wars movies.
Fair enough.
You don't like all the new Star Wars movies?
All of them.
I'm a huge Star Wars guy.
I think you can defend them all. You're gonna
find me hard pressed to complain about a Star Wars movie. I didn't like Solo that much, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed Solo. Last Jedi, first 45 minutes, no. The rest of the movie, yes.
Fuck off.
You like mama jokes in your Star Wars? Get the fuck out of here.
Last Jedi was such a good movie. I loved it. But,
oh my God.
But George Lucas.
You think that idiot will blow up 5 billion people in 6 planets? He'd be fooled by a mama joke? Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, go ahead.
But to my point is there are a lot. Okay, so I think George Lucas is a perfect example because George Lucas, a lot of people would say the Star Wars movies are doing great now. They're moving things forward.
They made a lot of money.
They made a lot of money, and they're what people now would like to see, like a current day.
To a degree, yes.
And that's kind of like NXT. NXT is very similar to what people in this day and age want out of a wrestling product.
Yeah.
I would say most people, a large portion of wrestling fans, even those who don't watch WWE, go, NXT's great.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing to watch. It doesn't insult your intelligence, all that kind of thing. So I do think that in a way, you know, it's very similar in that regard, but I just don't think that Vince could ever hand over the keys to the kingdom like that.
But that's the problem, and that's what I'm getting at. It's like Al Davis held on till he was whatever, and then finally he was like having those issues, and then eventually, you know, his son kind of took it over. Like, to me, that's what needs to happen here. Vince needs to legitimately step away and sell, so no one else can blame him for it. Yeah, and Lucas may hate himself for it, but he also sold it because the fans were turning on him, and the fans hated the prequels for the most part. Yeah, there are some defenders of it, but they hated it for the most part, and he didn't want to go through it again. He didn't want to bring it back and do more stuff with it and endure that kind of stuff, so he handed it off. This is the same situation to a degree. I think Vince should have signed the company over to Triple H, legitimately done it. Stephanie done it, issue a press release after the Raw and said that, and said this is in charge, and then Shane's in charge of SmackDown. I don't want to stop the fans from enjoying the product I created so many years ago, and all the backlash, all the criticism. I don't see a way to fix it because clearly anything I've done has not worked over the last few months, and it's probably a sign that I don't know what the fans want anymore. I want to remember being a fan and sit back, and I want to see them flourish without me and have a great. You're supposed to hand shit over to your kids. That's what you're supposed to do. But if your ego doesn't let you do that, then the problem at the end of the day is you, not the kids, not the product. It's you because you won't let go.
When I think that what you're saying right there is so evident throughout the rest of the episode.
Yes.
Like, you can come out there and you can say, I'm going to make changes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Nothing happened.
But you're just putting a new paint You're putting new paint over, like,
lipstick on a pig, man.
There we go. And it's like, that was, I think, what was very evident throughout the rest of the episode was that, like, you came out and you said all these things of, like,
and the fans cheered it.
And the fans cheered it.
Right.
But, like, did you really change anything? Because you said, hey, we're going to give you guys, and I know they said over the next coming weeks, but they're like, we're going to give you new superstars, new matchups.
Yeah.
Now, here's your first one of that era. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin.
Man.
And you're like, wait, did you not hear everything that you just said?
And are you bad? And why are you letting Corbin get destroyed when you're the reason Corbin did everything? So either be in kayfabe or don't be in kayfabe. But
kayfabe.
I'm sorry, kayfabe.
Kayfabe.
No, sorry, that's how we get in here.
Yeah.
Either be in kayfabe or don't be in kayfabe. But it's too frustrating for me watching it to have them think they can have their cake and eat it too, having their feet in both, one foot in both.
And also,
that's bullshit.
And also, you go like, Ra's been terrible. Baron Corbin's been doing all these terrible things. So you know what we're going to do to fix it? We're going to
beat
do
up
all
Baron
the things that Baron Corbin did throughout just as
exact
payback.
same
And you're
things.
like, wait, I get in storyline
Right.
that this was supposed to be payback for all the shit that Baron Corbin has done on Raw the past few, how long has been
to
in charge.
make them faces.
But at the same time, you're like,
Bullshit.
yes, but you're just doing this. Yeah, you're doing the same thing he did to become faces. It was very similar to how Lucha House Party were supposed to be faces for breaking the rules, but Baron Corbin was supposed to be a heel for breaking those exact same rules. And you're like, wait, huh?
Yeah.
And it was very similar to like, okay, we're going to do things differently. Things are going to be different on Raw. Now we're going to do things exactly the same.
And we're going to torture Baron Corbin for it. Like, I felt sympathy for Corbin when all the guys came out.
I kind of did too.
In the chairs. I was like, I liked it on TLC, but then to have it happen again, an Angle of all people.
That was the thing that bothered me too, is that like, okay, we literally just saw this segment at TLC.
Yeah.
There was really nothing different about the segment than what happened at TLC, except for the fact that except for Braun Strowman wasn't there.
Right.
You just took away the most popular one out of all of them.
The same people were there.
The same people were there, and it was like, okay, you say that you're going to give us what we want, but then and new matches, new things are going to happen. Here is exactly what happened last night now. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What? And
it's super frustrating.
And you know me, I fought for like the return of Kurt Angle. Like, I said, like, I think it'd be great, blah, 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 blah. But also, like, I understand that Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle had issues. But the real reason that Kurt Angle was gone was because of Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Like, Drew McIntyre beat the shit out of him until he was gone. So wouldn't his beef lie with Drew McIntyre now? Like, I get that he's got but like, you settled it at TLC already. Wouldn't you want to go beat up Drew McIntyre instead, who embarrassed you on Raw?
That's the irony of this whole thing. Somehow I started feeling sympathy for Corbin, who I've hated 4 weeks on this show and said how much I don't like him, to see them position themselves unabashedly as faces and turn Corbin into the heel, having him beg for one last chance and having Triple H go, okay, we'll give you one last chance. And this is who you got to fight. Angle. Oh, by the way, it's a non-DQ match. Oh, and by the way, this. And it's like, fuck you, man. That's bullshit. Like, all you did was do the exact same thing Corbin did. You're just now the jerk changing matches the same way Corbin did in the middle of matches because you don't like the result.
And it makes you look like you're going to be exactly like the Authority always was, except now Shane and Vince are there.
Yeah.
And Vince is more old now, so he's not as entertaining.
And Shane, I don't know, Shane scares me sometimes. When he comes down to the ring, he looks like I know he's in fantastic shape and he fights all the time, but he's always out of breath when he gets on the mic and puffy and sweaty. It concerns me. So
Lars Sullivan tweeted about that. It cracked me up.
Oh, he did?
Oh,
my God.
He said,
that's funny.
Oh, wait, I'm trying to pull it up. My phone's
By the way, y'all need to leave Lars alone, man. Y'all going on Lars's Twitter and going after him. The fans need to leave Lars alone. That's a man trying to make money in his business. Y'all going after everything with Lars.
Wait, he deleted his other tweet this morning? He's all over the place on Twitter. I love Lars cracks me up.
Paycheck, man.
So he said, what a beautiful family moment to kick off Raw. Do you think Shane sweats a lot? Wait until you see this freak of nature. Lars Sullivan is coming very soon.
That's right.
I look forward to introducing you all to my brand of belligerents, Happy Face. I love that he's been putting happy faces on his tweets. Oh, I'm so mad that he deleted those other funny tweets. Oh, they were so good. It was like, it said something like, please don't direct your congratulations to me over my main over being called up to the main roster. Direct them to the other 5 people in NXT who are great talents that are coming. Like, he has a really nice thing. Yeah. And then he quote tweeted and said, obviously I wasn't being serious here. Like, those people are trying to steal my spotlight after they've been announcing my debut for weeks. Like, I hope something that they suck. Yeah. It was funny. I liked it a lot. I love Lars. He cracked me up on Twitter.
I know. I'm starting to come around on him. I don't know how they'll use him, but I'm starting to come around on him.
Well, you know why everyone is so hard on him on Twitter, right? Did you see when everyone pulled up those 10-year-old message board faces? Those they were 10-year-old message board posts when he was younger, where he was trolling, and people are taking things that he said when he was trolling seriously from 10 years ago. And it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, that's the culture now.
Yeah, it is. It is. Anyway, so they beat up Corbin and move him out.
So before we fully move from here, do you think it's back to the bold strategy side of things. Don't you think it's weird to come out and just say the show has sucked if you're not going to make major changes?
I think 1,000% that's weird. And the major changes they made, and yes, people were excited. Aaron Turner, our friend of the show, Aaron Turner, was texting me about it last night. I'm like, he's like, War Machinery, yeah. And I respected his feelings about
Heavy Machinery.
But I was like, yeah, but what about them bringing up power tag teams from NXT? What track record have you seen them be successful with them? Makes you happy about
tag teams
Heavy
in general.
Machinery going into the main roster?
Where has Sanity and Andrade been?
Sanity, Andrade, what happened to the Ascension, the Vaudevillains? All these people have come up from NXT's tag teams. Almost every single one gets completely pissed away. The Revival gets completely pissed away when they get up there. Bobby Roode, to a degree, you could say that. Chad Gable also. And so, why are you happy that they're getting pushed up?
Well, I don't think you can necessarily say every NXT call-up has been a failure.
Not every, but I'm saying with the tag teams, certainly.
Yeah, well, some of those ones you mentioned there weren't necessarily tag teams, but yes, I agree with you.
Was?
Well, Bobby Roode, for example.
Right.
But yes, I agree with you.
Chad, wasn't he? Chad was a tag team when he came up, right?
He was, yes, he was.
American Alpha, right?
Yeah, American Alpha. True.
I rest my case.
Well, since you're already on the call-ups, I think it happened later, but I'm with you. We might as well talk about it here.
We don't need to go in order for this shit.
Out of all of the call-ups, I think EC3 makes the most sense.
I think EC3 makes the most sense on a number of levels, too, because, A, he's 35 years old, so he can't wait too much longer to get called up. He's
already been there once.
And he's already been champion in numerous other federations as well, so he's got a pedigree in that way.
Has TV experience.
Yeah, exactly. He's ready-made.
Has a ready-built character. Also, he just never fit with NXT.
No, he was always
even when they first brought him in, it didn't make sense. It was kind of look, he's a physical specimen that is a great character, but he doesn't really blend in with the indie vibe of NXT right now. He's beyond indie wrestler, And the guys in NXT aren't indie wrestlers. That's not a knock on them, and that's not a knock on anyone.
It's not a knock on anybody.
Yeah. But I think that he just doesn't necessarily it just seemed like an odd fit with some of him.
He was already roster ready.
He was so roster ready.
Like I felt the same way about Bobby Roode. I thought Bobby Roode was already roster ready.
I always felt the same with Bobby Roode as well. You know,
no business being NXT.
And I'm glad they didn't have him in NXT as long as Bobby Roode was, because Bobby Roode, even though he won the title, he did feel out of place. I think, and I think that they needed Bobby Roode to fill that role because of call-ups at the time and stuff. But I don't think EC3 ever would have been made to be one of the champions in NXT. Yeah. So might as well just he's an asset to the roster.
Look, people are get ready to get mad at me, and I'll get all the tweets if you want to get all the comments or whatever. But let's take a look at this call up. Right? Who do we got? Heavy Machinery, EC3, Lacey Evans, Nikki Cross, and am I missing anyone else?
I mean, Lars doesn't count. We've already been talking about Lars.
All white people. All white. You left Velveteen Dream down there. You left Bianca Belair down there. You left a number of Kairi Sane. You left a number of people down there of color or different heritage that you could have brought up, but you said, we're changing things. We're changing things. Here's 5 white people, 6 white people. What the fuck? Like, it was so, I'm so angry. And 2 things can exist. A, yes, did they deserve the call-ups? Sure. But they're also all white. And that frustrated the piss out of me overall because Bianca's been killing it down. Velveteen Dream deserves the call-up. And I love that I don't know if that's part of a gimmick or
I don't think it is. He's off the cuff like that.
Yeah.
Because for those of you who he tweeted saying to spam WWE asking for his call-ups.
Yeah, he should have
deleted those, by the way.
Oh, he did? Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. All right, so maybe it wasn't his own. But he should have been called up. So it's super frustrating when you say you're going to change things and the same thing you do the exact same thing. Not only the entire show, but with the call-ups as well. Look, I love Lacey, but Bianca should have been up there. I love Nikki Cross. I definitely love Nikki Cross. So they deserve their call-ups, but you could have been varied in the call-ups, and that's what frustrated me overall. I'm like, oh yeah, same thing. And yeah, no matter how much fake tan EC3 puts on, he's still a white guy. So I mean, like, to me, that's the frustrating thing. Now, do they all deserve call-ups? Yes, I'm never going to argue that. Yeah. What I argue is the look of it and that the optics of it, and I think that's a mistake. You can get mad at me. I'm not trying to be social. I'm not trying to put quotas or affirmative action. These people deserve to get called up. These people of color deserved to get called up for their achievement in the ring and outside the ring.
No, you're not the only person who said that. Like I saw a lot of people quote tweeted the site when I put up the call-ups. A lot of people were saying like something looks all the same about these people, you know. And to be fair, we don't know if more are going to be announced tonight.
Yeah, but
it's
this
very
is the
possible.
one you led with.
A
show about change.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I thought the exact same thing. I thought, how do you not put Bianca Belair in there?
Right.
Like, and granted, I do think that there's a story being played out still with her on NXT, so I could see them not necessarily wanting to bring her up. Yeah. And Lacey Evans, I think that she's similar to EC3, where I don't think that she's ever going to kind of like be the top of NXT's female division, but I think that she could be an asset as a team player, like kind of like a Dana Brooke has been, or Alicia Fox, or like
I guess so.
I don't, and I think that she. I could also see Vince taking a liking to Lacey Evans like he has Elias. So yeah, she's blonde, she's American, very American, former soldier. He's gonna love all that kind of stuff. So I mean, but I agree with you. I think that there is. I mean, Kairi Sane would have made a lot of sense. Yeah. Would have made a lot of sense. She's kind of done everything she has to do in NXT at this point. She's a ready-made character. So I can't disagree with you at all. However, I'm holding out hope that we're gonna get more tonight on SmackDown where that maybe Velveteen Dream gets announced there. Maybe that's why he deleted the tweet.
Oh, maybe.
That's my only guess, and I don't know that. I'm guessing right now, but
you're still not being brought up to the main one, which is Raw, and everyone knows that's the main show.
They didn't specify in the package.
Okay.
They didn't specify what show anyone was going to be on.
But once again, the optics, you're putting it on the Raw show.
Agreed.
So it looks like they're coming to Raw.
And most of those guys did tweet like #Raw after. So it did look like, even though they said these are people being called up, I think they only said that because of Lars. I think Lars is going to SmackDown. I think they're trying to make you think Lars is going to Raw, but I think Lars is going to SmackDown.
Well, he did reference Shane in that tweet, so maybe he is going to SmackDown.
I think Lars is going to SmackDown.
Well, so let's move on. Let's ask this question. What happens to Paige? Paige tweeted.
Paige did tweet. I'm very interested to see what they do with her tonight.
Because she wasn't mentioned.
Let's pin that because who knows? We're going to see in a few hours. So you might as well just pin that and then discuss what we think that if it was a good or bad decision instead of wasting too much time on it.
If they turn her heel and have her go on with Mandy and back to those two, that would be fantastic.
Interesting.
Yeah. Make her the manager of those two. I know it's a step down, but she's still in the mix. So We'll see.
What?
Probably not. And I don't. Okay, where's Alexa Bliss?
I was going to say this. I think Alexa Bliss is going back to wrestling. I think they're because she tweeted like as if she was going back to wrestling last night. That's my guess. Man. What about this for Paige?
She'd be a great GM.
What about Paige becoming the new GM at NXT? And William Regal being able to focus more because Regal's only on there sparsely.
Yeah, but she doesn't want that. She doesn't want a role that's occasionally on television. Yeah, I guess they could craft it out that she'd be on all the time, but it's still a step down, bro. You're still going from NXT to,
I guess, that's mainly why I'm waiting, because I don't know. I mean, they could also make her like an assistant to the McMahon family on both brands.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something they do or something like that to kind of give her something else to do.
Yeah.
I also think out of the call-ups, I think Heavy Machinery is going to get over big time. I know you said that there's a bad record of tag teams, but they're also another one who have like been largely...
Sanity, big dudes.
There's nothing like Sanity.
Sanity are big dudes.
That's just literally the only similarities that they're big dudes.
And they're white.
And they're white. Yeah, and they have beards. Like that's literally the only similarity. I think that
are they Scottish?
I think Tucker is great.
Is Heavy Machinery Scottish?
No, they're
regular dudes.
Oh, dude, they're so American.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, Vince is gonna love them. Vince is like. They're all about steaks, eating steak and meat, and
that's right, the meat
they're
stuff.
all about
I remember
steaks
that.
And
Where
steaks
do they
and
slide
weights.
in though?
Well, the reason I was gonna say is dude, Otis is such a character. Like Dojovic, dude, that guy, he's only been used. He hasn't been used a ton, but he is so funny. Like if you follow that guy on social media or Instagram, he is like such a character. Like Tucker is funny. Yeah. Tucker's a good guy. Tucker's a good, huge beast of a dude, like a presence, you know. But Otis is hilarious. Like that guy has star power. Like that guy is so funny. Is fun to look at. He's got like a crazy character where he's like doing weird shit. He does the worm and he's a small little like kind of like rhino-y looking dude. Yeah. He's similar to like what you liked about the original Rhino.
Oh yeah.
He's like that but funny. Okay. And I think that Otis will help get that team over a lot. I think that they could easily be slotted in against AOP, the Revival. Yeah. I think that they would fit in there perfectly. Okay. So I would like to see it, yeah. Okay. I am pumped about that one. I honestly think they picked really good choices. I mean, there are other people I would have liked to have seen get called up.
Yeah, like I said, two things can exist at the same time. They deserve their call-ups. They certainly earn their call-ups as well. But the optics of it also are I don't like them.
No, it makes sense. You think they call up Aleister Black tonight?
Oh, that'd be good. I'd love Aleister.
He needs to be on the main roster too.
Yeah.
They need like that new dark kind of like take that market from the Undertaker audience.
And then maybe St. Alamos will get some rivalries now.
Maybe.
Which would be nice.
Probably not.
Speaking of
he's got as soon as he carries a pinata to the ring, he'll start getting pushed, as we've seen.
My God. I will die if that happens. And I'm wearing my St. Almas, the one I told you guys about that I got.
Oh, that is
on
a cool
Black
shirt.
Friday. I know, it's a badass shirt.
That is a cool shirt.
It's got a little thing in the back, too.
Tell your girlfriend to lay off. You got some cool shirts, man.
So anyway.
Don't tell her I said that.
No, I'm not going to say So anyway, go back to the run of the show. Finn Balor took on Dolph Ziggler here with McIntyre interrupting, once again, rehashing TLC. Is this going to be a triple threat match, or is it going to be eventually Finn versus... Because Finn won, so is it going to be Drew versus Ziggler, or is Ziggler just a middleman for these two coming together again?
I'm thinking three-way.
Three-way, yeah.
I'm thinking three-way. Yeah. Or just to kind of help build around the Rumble so that there's more of a feud going into the Rumble as well, kind of like one of the bigger, three bigger stars that are kind of like, we want that number one spot now that there's like that there's a spot open for the top dog in the company, you know? So I could see it going that way as well. Okay. This was also another one, though, where I thought it was funny, where it's like, new matchups. Okay, we're going to do new matchups. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin.
Yep.
Finn Balor versus Dolph Ziggler. And you're like, what? Like, I get that you said in the next few weeks, but you weren't going to try a little... And they did later in the episode with Tyler Breeze and Dean Ambrose. But like, it was like, man, really? Like... It's a lot of the same things that you had been giving us already that you've now given us in the same episode after saying you were going to do new things. And that was weird to me.
Yeah, I thought so too. I didn't feel too excited. And then they, had the elimination thing or the disqualification thing. Drew did a Scottish Claymores. But like, I don't know. It left me kind of cold in this whole situation. We'll see. If it's a triple threat match, great. But McIntyre's kind of lost now without Strowman. Like, without Strowman, I feel like he doesn't have a foil.
Or Dolph as by his side is kind of like like, I like that he was like the looming presence over Dolph.
Yeah.
You know, I like that.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out as it goes forward. Dean Ambrose did his promo. I thought it was a good promo that he did. Really going after Rollins, attacking his manhood and all this kind of jazz, attacking the fans. What he said, something about their hooves or something like that. He was really going after him, which I really enjoyed. And then, he had an open challenge when Rollins wouldn't come out. Tyler Breeze comes out. Our old friend Tyler Breeze comes out, gets basically into a squash match with
Well, was it a full squash match?
I said basically, not full. It's basically a squash match. And then Ambrose, because I guess it came close at the end
commercial, there. They got a finisher.
You know what was going to happen. And
well, of course you knew it was going to happen. But, I like that Tyler Breeze is being used more. I also like that his new gimmick of answering open challenges. I think it was Lance Stormer tweeted, he tweeted something along the lines of saying, I like that Tyler Breeze just figured out that in order to get matches, he has to hang out in gorilla position or something like that. Because he got the open challenge from Ricochet that he did for Ricochet on NXT last week. And then this week, it's the open challenge from Dean Ambrose. So,
Ronda's next.
So, respect to Tyler Breeze for figuring out, the only way I'm going to get a match is if someone just throws out a challenge. I'm just going to hang out here in gorilla in my gear, That's smart on his part.
Other wrestlers why does he always stand in there? Why is he always standing there? Oh, shit, he got called. He gets him out there. Son of a gun.
No, blast you, Prince Pretty.
They did not do that. And then Rollins reveals himself to be one of the bodyguards, attacks Ambrose from behind and kicks the crap out of him, and then Ambrose runs away. And he stares at him.
Did you hate the match between Rollins and Ambrose as much as everyone else seems to have hated it at TLC?
I didn't hate it. I thought it served its purpose, but I was hoping for better. But I didn't hate it. Hate is a strong word.
I didn't hate it either. It's gotten a real strong reaction on Twitter from the crowd that night. They were really booing against it. I'm just wondering.
Maybe they were just mad about the whole thing.
Well, it seems like everyone didn't enjoy the pacing of it because it was kind of like they were still doing holds and stuff that. And apparently they were trying to get across the message of Seth was trying to show Dean that he's going to wrestle the way he wrestles and not let Dean get in his head and make him have to fight.
Right.
Right. But I don't know. I didn't hate it as much as everyone. I just thought, it wasn't a bad match.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It was a bad match necessarily. Yeah. Did you like this? Him hitting from behind and doing whatever and setting this up again?
Yeah. I think that I think that there's still unfinished business between them. After TLC, even when I was kind of fantasy shakeup, doing shakeup on Twitter for fantasy purposes on my own. It was I want to put Seth on SmackDown because I would like him to get his own show again. But at the same time, he's got unfinished business on Raw, So
I think he still has to put the strap on.
I think they want to do that too. They made him. I saw today they finally switched the graphic on WWE.com for Raw. So the whole time it's had Roman Reigns standing at the front of it.
Oh,
and then behind him is Rollins. And
Lesnar?
Altogether it's Brock, Braun, Alexa, was Braun, Brock, Alexa, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Now they replaced Roman Reigns in the front with Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins is the front runner now on the Raw image, not Brock Lesnar or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then in the place of Rollins is Drew McIntyre now.
Oh, okay.
Which I think, I feel like it might be a very small, minor thing.
Yeah.
But I do think it shows where people are seen in the pecking order.
A Rollins-McIntyre feud would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see that.
Well, they were feuding for a while.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see it go forward again.
For the title this time?
Yeah, for the title. Finn's cool, but I'm not in that Finn camp. I'm just not. I like Finn. I think Finn should work. He should absolutely keep working, blah, blah, blah. I don't want Finn with the strap. It does nothing. I think the time passed, and unfortunately, from circumstances, situations, I just don't. I'm not excited by Finn having the strap.
I mean, if I was doing a shakeup, I would move Finn. I would trade Finn and AJ.
Oh.
AJ to Raw and let Finn take the place of AJ on SmackDown. AJ's already over.
Yeah.
Let it do to Finn what it did for AJ, and let him be the guy on the show. Give him the club.
Yeah.
Let him do his thing. The club's his. He started it. Let them freaking do it. You know?
Club,
Let them do it. You're giving the fans what they want. The fans have wanted that for freaking 3 years now.
The fans are the authority,
They've been there for 3 years and they haven't done it once. And they've called the guys the club. It's ridiculous. Sorry to yell in the microphone.
All right, moving on. Elias comes out and hits Bobby Lashley in the back of the head with a guitar after Lashley and Leo rushed.
New things are going to happen on the show.
Yeah, new things going to happen. Same rivalries.
Same situation that's played out 4 months.
Yep.
I mean, I like Leo. I like Lashley. I like Elias. I just think it's weird. That's what my main problem was with this show, is that it's weird to me to like call out your inaccuracies, to call out how terrible the show has been, to say you're gonna make all these changes, and then to just give me the exact same freaking thing. Like that was just so that it was hard for me to pay attention to the segment because I was just so frustrated. It was like I really, really, really enjoy Leo Rush.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush. Elias, I finally turned on him, but I'm into him now. I'm a fan of Elias, but I was like, I can't help but notice this is exactly what we've had for the past few months. Like this is what we've had.
Yeah.
Nothing different.
It's super frustrating overall because you're just like, well, what are they going to do? Because they seem to be pissing away both of these guys in this useless rivalry. Because you'd worked really hard to bring Lashley back from possibly being like moved down. You give him Leo Rush. You kind of reawaken his character. It's great. You turn Elias face, but where is he gone? He's back in his feud with Lashley. It does nothing for him. If you're going to turn him face, you should have turned him face against a high-profile heel to put Elias really over. And so I don't understand what the process is here with him, or the thought process is behind his push, because it doesn't look like that push is working, in my opinion, if you put him up against Lashley.
Well, yeah.
Are you using him to...
You mean the face push for Elias?
Yeah. Are you using Lashley to push the face push for Elias, or are you using Elias to push the heel push for Lashley?
I think that's why this feud isn't necessarily working as well as I would like it, is because they both need the strong pillar on the other side of things to get their heel or their face persona over more. And right now it's like they're both kind of building up together, and I don't think it helps you want to cheer for one or boo for one more than the other. And I agree with you wholeheartedly there. I think that they both would be much better served getting out of this feud as soon as possible against, so they can have stronger opponents in terms of a heel foe.
And storyline.
Or face. Yeah.
Agreed. All right, let's move on. We had a fatal four-way #1 contenders match for the tag team titles. That was AOP, the Lucha House Party, the B team. Oh, hey, the B team. And the Revival.
I laughed when the B team got mentioned. I was like, oh, I guess they washed the car well since Rocha made that joke last week.
They're in this fatal four, and out of nowhere, the Revival wins this damn thing on the heels of Rollins saying what he said last week or 2 weeks ago.
And one other thing that was mentioned in this, is that the Lucha House Party rules have officially been banned.
So they were the only ones who had issues with it.
So tell me this.
Oh boy, here we go. Yes.
If you're just abolishing Lucha House Party rules, what was the point of any of that? Of any of that.
If this is the change you were talking about, something minuscule like the Lucha House Party rules, give me a damn break. If you're gonna stay with these rivalries all through the show, and this is the change you made.
Yeah, the change is we're getting rid of Lucha House Party rules, and we're getting rid of automatic title match. Your clause for automatic title rematch.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? I understand people weren't liking Lucha House Party rules, so whatever. But it was just like, to just be like out of thin air, Lucha House Party rules are done.
Right.
What was the point of any of that then? Like, that to me was frustrating that it was just like vanished. Like, they're doing a good deal. They were the good guys.
Yeah.
Lucha House Party were supposed to be the good guys. Yeah. Like, I don't understand why that was like a first rule of thing. Like, nope, gotta screw over those good guys. You know, like I didn't get that.
Super frustrating.
Also, is it just me or did the noisemakers get bigger?
Yeah,
they got bigger, right? They got them like larger than life noisemakers. I don't like it.
They're leaning into it.
I don't like it.
It's just so frustrating.
It really is.
Yeah. And
it was so annoying. If the Lucha House Party are supposed to be good guys, that shit was so annoying during this. I felt like I was watching Schmodown when they spin the wheel. I kept looking for the wheel because it kept making that noise on the at ringside.
Yeah.
Those are annoying, those noisemakers. Oversized ones are even more annoying.
Yeah.
That's not going to make me cheer for them. Like, and I get it, it's for children, so maybe it'll make the children cheer for them. But those noisemakers are crazy annoying.
They're super annoying.
Crazy annoying.
Like those vuvuzelas were in South Africa when they were doing the World Cup there.
Very similar.
Oh my God, it was so frustrating to hear that.
Oh, I remember those. They were very annoying.
Good God.
The only good that came out of this was the Revival, obviously, getting the the #1 contender spot.
Yeah.
But But I just don't have faith that they're actually going to push the Revival. If anything, it feels like they're going to push the Revival because they don't want them to leave because of All Elite Wrestling or something like that.
Okay, fair. Do you want to see the Revival versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable?
No,
that's not exciting.
Well, it's just I don't think Bobby Roode and Chad Gable are necessarily like a team like I'm going to care about ever. Like,
right.
and I like Chad Gable so much.
I like them both separately, but together as a team.
I like Chad Gable a lot.
Oh wow.
No, I don't dislike Bobby Roode. It's just like I'm just very indifferent when it comes to Bobby Roode as a character. Like it never really has like ever really, except for when he's in Beer Money. Like it never really did anything for me. But I think
good tag team.
Yeah. But I mean, I just don't have a feeling. I just don't have faith that they're gonna ever actually push the Revival. That's all.
Could Beer Money work in the WWE?
Hell yeah, Beer Money could work in WWE. Yeah, dude.
James,
have you seen what he looks like lately?
No.
Oh, dude, he's like more ripped now than he was in Impact.
That's how you save Bobby, then.
I know.
You get rid of that glorious gimmick, which was cool when it started, but if you weren't going to go full heel with him, then bring in, was it Jesse? Was it
James Storm?
James Storm show up, talk to him in the back, like all of a sudden this weird kind of conversation and say, you got the hair cut up, you did all this stuff, but this is where you belong, bro. This is your roots. This is who we were, blah, blah, and have James come in. Beer Money would kick ass on the WWE.
I couldn't agree more.
Those characters, they would sell merch, son.
Hey, if you want to give us, the authority, what we want.
Yeah, the fans.
Give us Beer Money.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Not in the literal sense. I'm not really a big drinker.
But yeah, so the Revival win this thing. We'll see where it goes forward. AOP were barely in this match, which is really weird to watch. So are they getting buried now? Like
buried might be a bit extreme, but I mean,
weren't they supposed to be this incredible blah 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 blah? And then now you give their titles to Chad Gable and Rude, and then you barely have them in this 4-way tag team match to even try to win this thing. So
I think that we're gonna get more shakeups besides just call-ups.
Okay.
I think they're gonna shake up the rosters a little bit. Oh man, imagine that had been full. I think they're gonna shine. The whole show's gone. I think that if they're doing all this, they have to do some shakeup kind of stuff, and so I think they have to bring more tag teams to Raw. They have to kind of switch up the tag team scene. Is like they have 3 amazing, they have 4. They have lots of actually. They have like 5 really good tag teams on SmackDown. They need to kind of like share the wealth a little bit, push the tag team division and stuff like that. So yeah, I think there's work that needs to be done in that regard, and so I don't think they're getting buried yet.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Well, Ronda Rousey comes out next. Address what she did.
Well, wait. Actually, before we get to that, I want to say, I do think that this. Since I've done a lot of negative talk on this, I do think that the Revival winning this #1 contender spot does signal that maybe that they're gonna try to get the titles off Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, since everyone's kind of been feeling the same way about them as a team, and like this is really a forced thing. Right. And the Revival is clearly not a forced thing. It's much more organic that the fans are behind. I could see them switching the titles of Revival quickly to try and make fans happy a little bit, which that would be a good thing, because I mean they've been on the main roster I think for over a year now, and they still haven't won the titles, so it's ridiculous.
That could be where War Machinery or Heavy Machinery slides in.
It's possible.
Yeah, like starting their own feud with them, and you don't necessarily give them the title, but you come and start the feud at least to put them over a little bit. Maybe. It's really possible. Or you have them against AOP. That'd be fun too.
That's what I was thinking. If they come in against AOP.
Heavy Machinery, AOP. Yeah, it helps both of them out. Yeah.
And bring the Usos over and do the Revival versus the Usos on Raw. My God. That would make more sense to me.
Dude, the Usos were so great at TLC, man.
Yeah, they were. That match was great.
Fuck, that was a good match.
Yeah, that was a really good match. But I would like to see that. I'd like to see the Revivals win the tag team titles, bring the Usos over, let them feud for a while. People would love it. Let AOP and Heavy Machinery do their thing. Yeah. People would be into that.
I don't disagree with that. We'll see. All right, so Ronda Rousey comes out, addresses what she did at TLC, says she wants to be a fighting champion, says that a champion should defend the belt after they do it in whatever condition they are.
Which I didn't understand.
I think this is a setup for when she turns heel
and
won't defend the belt the one day after.
I asked because I was like, was her pushing Charlotte and Becky off the ladder supposed to be a heel turn? Like, because a lot of people thought that, and I asked, and it was like, no, it definitely wasn't supposed to be a heel turn. Like, according to sources, it was just like, very similar to like when Asuka kind of like flipped out and beat the same 2 women up with a kendo stick, and no one was like, well, Asuka's a heel now. Right. I don't think they're going that direction. I don't think the money is in Ronda Rousey as a heel. I get it that people want to boo her. Yeah. Now it's starting to get to that point because people are resenting her a little
They
bit.
booed her through this promo.
Well,
they
this
cheered her
promo
when
was-
she came out, but then they booed her through the promo, started chanting Becky.
This promo was stupid.
Yeah, it was
I
a
love Ronda
dumbass
Rousey,
promo.
but this promo didn't make sense to me because you're like,
Nope.
what wrestling fan cares if the champion comes to defend the title the next night? They just need to be there.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not that Brock Lesnar isn't defending his title on Raw. That's not the problem. It's that Brock Lesnar isn't on Raw.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know, like you saying like a true champion defends the title the next night. Since when?
Yeah.
Like in boxing and UFC, any contact sport like that. Wrestling.
I've
It's
never-
not that like you have to defend your title the next night. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Maybe the fans can school me on this, and I'm speaking out of turn, but I've never seen anyone talk about what you should be as a champion as much as Ronda does as a face.
Yeah, me
never
seen
neither.
a
A face do that. I know a heel does that because they're trying to get the fans upset at them about it. But
The only time I've seen it done,
male or
and I'm
female.
not trying to, I can't think of an exact example, but it's done, usually if it's done in that way, it's much more of like a motivational.
Yes,
way. Like,
yes.
It's not like your older sister who's talking shit to you because you're sitting there playing video games instead of going out and working, you know,
Right,
and getting a real
right.
job. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, I don't need a lecture.
Yeah, it was
Why
a
are you-
lecture.
Why are you lecturing
It was a
me?
lecture promo.
That's how it felt, you know, and I think that, you know, there have been many motivational, like
Yeah.
for Hulk Hogan, you know, like
Hogan
to
did it all
say
the
your
time.
prayers and your vitamins isn't necessarily like you can take that in a dickhead way, like okay, Dad, I
Yeah.
don't want to take my I don't want to say prayers or eat my vitamins, but it was done like in a motivational way, so you don't see it that way,
Exactly,
you know. So I think that's where the difference to me is that like it really felt like someone who's like lecturing you,
Yeah.
like you know, and who wants to be lectured,
Right. That's
Like
a
I
good
don't
point.
care. Like a champion is someone who entertains me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you know, like there have been a lot of champions who weren't there the next night. Also, don't tell me what a champion is. You've barely been in the WWE.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Yeah.
tell me. I've been watching my whole life.
And guess what? It's fake.
That's the other thing. While I was watching it,
I'm like,
so they don't. A champion is someone who gets scripted to wrestle for the title the next. That's not how these storylines work. You know, that was why I was so bothered by it. It didn't make sense to me, and I thought to myself, if they want to cheer her, this is not the way to get Ronda Rousey cheered.
But and then to kick it all off, to end that promo, you have this shot of the women in the back all yelling at the people, and I'm like, what is the optics of having all these women yelling for an opportunity, like at the top of their lungs, yelling? I was so bothered by that.
While I agree with you, I might normally agree with you here.
Yeah,
But in my mind, I've always felt like the open challenge concept.
Yeah.
I've wanted more out of the shooting of an open challenge concept.
in the back.
In the back. Because to
How
me,
does
it's
it
always
happen?
like, how does it happen?
Yeah, who gets to
Is
run out
every
the
wrestler
curtains?
just standing there and someone says open challenge and all the guys who happen to be in their gear are like, oh shit, kind of like we were talking about Tyler Breeze, like, oh fuck, let me get over there, you know, and like run, and the guy who's standing at the music board is waiting for the first guy who runs up and he pushes the button like, you know, like one of those soundboards. Oh, there it is, Tyler Breeze, you know. So the open challenge, and you rarely, it's rare when there's like open challenge and then someone's music hits and then another person comes out and is like, no, I want the open challenge. No, I want the open challenge. No, you never see that. And I'm like, wouldn't there be so many people answering these open challenges? There's like a whole roster of guys who I see on Twitter and women.
Yeah.
I see them complain about not getting opportunity on social media.
Yeah.
That's not true, you know? So I get a little, for once, I liked it. Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
A bunch of women barking orders and screaming at the town.
It's a bad optics.
It's a bad optic. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I at least liked that for once my intelligence wasn't insulted while watching Open Challenge.
that's fair.
I was thinking to myself, like, I have always wondered what the backstage gorilla position looks like.
It must suck for the guys who gotta play the music.
And Kidman was sitting there like, and I loved it. I really did enjoy that. I did. I cracked up. But I also understand that the optics of it weren't great. But we harped on them for the optics of the all-white call-up. So
yeah, that's fair.
I'll give them the break on the all-women thing.
But Stephanie comes in and says she's going to handle it.
And
of
also,
course. Yeah.
We have more than 10 minutes
do
because
we?
we started early.
Yes, we did.
That's why I started early, because I knew it was we had a lot to discuss.
We did. That's right. So,
although we're actually almost at the end now.
yeah,
so
we
good.
are. So yeah, we're kind of in that spot anyway. So you get him. You get her saying the stuff that she's saying. Stephanie comes out and says, "Okay, I'm gonna handle it. Come on, You all come out with me like a mom. You all come out with me, right? Oh, I thought things were changing. Nope, more the same. From Stephanie, comes out. She decides I'm not going to play favorites anymore. Yeah, does all that kind of jazz. Sets up this thing between Alicia Fox and Bayley to start off. Bayley wins, beats Alicia Fox. But I hate these things.
You don't like gauntlet matches?
The gauntlet matches because they take away the effectiveness of who you are as a wrestler. From when you can fight 30-minute matches or 20-minute matches already, all of a sudden you're getting pinned in 3 minutes. Like, that bothers me.
Well, but it's endurance.
I know, but it's endurance for the person, but the people getting beat. I'm like, wait, you fought matches we fought for 15 minutes. All of a sudden you're getting pinned so quickly.
I see what you're saying.
It takes away their power.
Okay.
That's what bothers me about gauntlet matches. It takes away their power.
Okay.
You know, and yeah, you had Bayley, and then Bayley beating
I
Dana.
think we got some pretty solid.
Yeah, Dana fought well. It was nice to see Dana good little skills.
I was shocked.
Yeah,
with
I was
Dana.
happy to let Dana.
I was like, whoa, look at Dana go.
Yeah, I was really
Dana's
happy
ready
about
for that opportunity. I was like, man, she's going.
Right.
I thought Mickie James did really good too.
Mickie James did good, but then you had Bayley lose that way that she did. Then you had Mickie lose the way, but then you had Mickie. Then you had Mickie lose to was it Natty or Ember? Was it Ember Moon?
Ember Moon,
which is good with the Eclipse. That was sweet, and Mickie really sold the jump. That was great. Not like Shawn Michaels. And then you had Ember lose to Natty, and then Natty beat Sasha.
You're so anti-Natty.
You know why?
Why?
If things are changing. What is different than Angle and Natty? Guess what? They're contemporaries.
Oh, that's not fair.
That is fair.
They are not contemporaries.
That's fair.
Kurt Angle's been there since the Attitude Era. That's not fair. You can't say they're contemporaries.
Natty's been there for 10, 15 years.
But that's not contemporary to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's been there since the Attitude Era.
When was the last time Kurt was on?
Natty's been there since like the 2010 or something like that, you know?
I don't know. She's
or
been there
maybe
a long
longer,
time.
but whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 10 years, something like that.
But if things are changing, why are you giving me the veteran of the women's against?
Because she's never been given really like big opportunities.
She's had shots at the title many. She's held the title
come
too.
on, not really like in a big. This is a big opportunity for her.
Why? Because it's Ronda.
And also, yes, one because it's Ronda, and two, this is something they've been building since Ronda came to Raw. I mean,
nobody gave a shit.
But okay. But to be fair, there is some people who give a shit because I actually have enjoyed the build up to them, and I do think that it's gonna plant the seeds for when Natty eventually turns again. So
But you haven't face versus face, aren't you?
But it's Christmas episode. Like Christmas episode's gonna suck anyways. Then no one's gonna care about the Christmas episode. Why not put one match on the Christmas episode that they've at least built towards that people like you don't necessarily who aren't gonna probably watch Raw on Christmas anyways.
I will.
Die
I always watch Raw.
On Christmas though, I feel like you're a little less.
I'll be home, so I have to sneak away.
Yeah, you're not gonna watch Raw on Christmas. We're not gonna do this. You're not gonna watch Raw on Christmas. Get out of here.
Maybe a DVR.
But like, I think that it was smart of them to do that. To be honest with you, and I like Natty, and
I don't like Natty.
My issue, don't like Natty.
I know. My issue is that
you kind of don't like Natty.
I feel like Natty's already had her time. That's my feeling. And she's been.
I don't dislike Natty. Okay, here's why I don't dislike.
No,
here's why I dislike Natty.
No, I don't dislike Natty as a person or.
I know. I know you don't dislike her as a person. I'm talking the character of Natalia.
I'm saying we've already seen Natty have multiple shots at the title, hold the title many times.
So long. When's the last title shot you remember from Natalia? And to be honest with you, did you not like the TLC match that she had against Ruby Riott? I think she killed it in this last feud. And look it. You just made Natty relive her father's death for a storyline. Get the girl a goddamn title shot, Rocha. Let her have a goddamn title shot.
All right, Ryan.
You know,
that's fair.
That's fair.
She did put herself through that.
Come on. She did that for us.
Even though Riott should have won that match. Yeah.
I will say though, as much as I defended all of it.
Who did you want to win this thing? Oh wait, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I really did. I expect Natty. I expected Natty to win.
Okay.
I think that Natty is a pillar of the women's division. Okay. I like her getting opportunities like that. I am a fan of Natalia. Every time she's given an opportunity, Natalia pulls through. She was entertaining with all these women in the match that she went up against. I think that she earned it. My only complaint really was to go like, we're giving you guys new stuff. Yeah. I told you I was going to harp on this all night or all day. New stuff. We're giving you new stuff. And then it's like, and we're going to make things more exciting. So here's a really boring ending to Raw where Ronda Rousey just comes out and holds her friend's hand in the air and the show's over. And you're like, what? And they made it look like one of them was going to turn or beat each other up and they didn't. You liked that?
I didn't like that.
You didn't like it, right? You're with me on that, right?
I didn't like Natty winning and I didn't like anything that happened
Who'd you want to win?
Ember Moon. She fucking deserves it.
More than Natalia?
Yes.
And you think that makes more sense
You
than
know, because
Natalya.
Ember hasn't had her time. Natty's had her time with the belt multiple times. Ember hasn't, and Ember's been buried over the last few weeks when they promoted these stupid other feuds and not let her step up. And Ember's a great female wrestler. She deserves her time. And she should be in that position. What did Triple H have that song? It's my time now. Well, give her time. You're the guy in charge, or one of the people in charge. Give her time. Do you want to see Natty versus? Maybe you're right, Miss Chris. That makes it even worse. You're putting on a Christmas episode, which nobody's going to watch, according to you. So what's the point? So why even give it to her?
Because they're going to get out of the way.
Then you're denigrating her even more by giving her that spot.
Maybe. But you're over. Pick your side you're on over here, Rocha.
I'm saying don't give it to her at all.
But then you've got Ember Moon versus Ronda Rousey. You think that's a main event for Raw? You think that's a good main event for Raw?
I think that's a great main event for Raw.
And
a lot of people love Ember Moon.
Natalya versus Ronda Rousey has been built up since Ronda Rousey came to the roster, though. I
know.
They've literally been building it for. It's the best possible choice.
It's not the best possible choice.
For this throwaway, they're not going into a feud, I don't think. You have to think about this. They're not. Look at it this way. Look how close we are to everything. There are right now, they're trying to waste time with Ronda Rousey until they can get to the road to WrestleMania.
That's true.
So why not waste that time with the feud, with a feud, with not even a feud, with a fun couple of weeks of competitive stuff between Ronda Rousey and Natalya that you've built for months.
I accept your logic. It makes sense, of course. I just would like to have seen Ember Moon because I want to get
the new matchup thing. Yeah,
even if she loses, she could still put on a hell of a match that stays in people's minds as she goes forward.
I like Ember Moon. But I also think Ember Moon, as you said, with the Mickie James thing, I think you need someone for Ember Moon that can sell really well for her. Yeah. I don't think Ronda Rousey's selling really well for Ember Moon and vice versa. Ember Moon's great, but Ember Moon does stuff where people sell really well for her, like her finisher. Imagine Ronda Rousey trying to take that move. It's not going to look good. Okay. You think Ember Moon is going to be able to do that, pull that off?
Yep.
You think? Not Ember Moon. Ronda Rousey is going to be able to pull that move off?
Ronda pulled a number of moves off.
No, but that's a hard move to take.
In the Charlotte match with all her high-flying shit, and then also with Nia Jax.
The Eclipse thing? Off the top rope with the fucking stunner? Yes! Get out of here.
If she's supposed to be champion who's fighting all the time and blah-blah-blah, then you better step up and sell these moves.
Yeah, I get it logic-wise, but we're also in reality, Rocha.
I have more faith in Ronda than you do. That's an irony of a half.
I guess so. I have faith in Ronda Rousey.
By the way, people don't get freaked out. This is how Latinos talk.
That's true.
There's no ill will here. All right. Any last things about this Raw and about this change? What do you want to see? Are you hoping?
I just hope that on SmackDown. It's weird because SmackDown's been really entertaining.
Yeah.
So I don't really want a lot of change.
Yeah. Don't change SmackDown
tonight.
too much.
Don't make SmackDown Raw.
Oh my God.
SmackDown's been awesome. I'm scared. I'm a little scared. That's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
But no, Raw was. I'm just hoping that that's not it. Yeah. I'm just scared that it's okay, well, the big Band-Aid is bringing the McMahon family back. That's not the big Band-Aid. That's not the glaring issue. Wasn't we missed the McMahons.
Right.
That's not what the issue was.
Not the issue at all.
That was not the issue.
Yeah.
So
don't let the pops fool you.
Yeah. So I think that that's really what there were things I enjoyed about the episode as a whole, but it was also just very. It was just very hypocritical, the whole thing.
I agree.
It was just a very hypocritical episode of Raw. I don't and it's it's what I said. It's the trap they were building for themselves last week by Seth Rollins coming out there and saying Raw sucks.
Good point.
Is that it's you're towing a tough line. That's a real thin line that you're walking down there of saying our show sucks. We're changing nothing though. That. Even if you say you're changing things, then you don't. It sends a really bad message, in my opinion. Because you know what?
How much you don't care about the fans.
It's just, that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Or either that you don't care about the fans for real, or you're out of touch.
Yeah, and the line that Vince said to the fans, which may be prophetic, is when he said, "I didn't need any of you, and I don't need all of you to do what I do." And it's no, you kind of do, son.
Yeah.
Because if no one comes to it, you ain't making any money.
Yeah.
So don't. We'll see if it's prophetic. If that stubbornness of his is what permeates no matter what they verbally say in a ring during a promo.
And I know for a fact.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that there are talent who are very unfulfilled right now.
Yeah.
Who feel like he is. who feel like Vince is just so stubborn creatively that it's just stifled a lot of the good work that could be done there because it's just like only one person's in charge and his creativity has kind of been tapped and he doesn't realize it. And so, I think that people might talk shit on me on Twitter for taking this All Elite Wrestling thing seriously, but the last time shit was real bad in wrestling when it was at its worst, WCW rolled into town with a billionaire and people with a vision, and they kicked some sense into WWE. So
for almost 2 years,
I just look at it that way, that's really what I'm looking at right now.
I'm with you. I'm with you in that camp, and I remember that. That was one of the greatest times to be a wrestling fan on both sides, seeing how WWE reacted with the Attitude Era and seeing the NWO before it all came crashing down. That was a great. To me, those are like golden times.
Absolutely.
The 80s and then that time as well.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thanks everybody for watching this week, this Collider Body Slam Raw recap. I hope we haven't blown your ears out with our back and forth, but we had a lot to say, and passion is what wrestling fans do best.
Yeah.
And so I hope, I'm sure some of you threw your computer at the wall, and then some of you put it back together because you liked what we were saying. So it just always goes back and forth. Ryan, tell everybody where they can follow us and follow stuff on Pro Wrestling Sheet.
ProWrestlingSheet.com is the website. YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. That's where all our videos go. You can see the recaps that we do here. You can see Wrestling Sheet Radio. You can see other clips that I'll kind of pull from the show or other things that are going on around Collider. So check out that. YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. Go subscribe. Go like the videos. Go share them. Go comment. I read all the comments. I read everything that you guys are saying about the show. I am happy that so many of you are enjoying it. But please, if you enjoy the show, keep spreading the word to others. I have to keep spreading the word to more people. There's only so much I can do with my own voice. It helps when you guys let other people know there's a good recap show going on here on video that for free that you guys should be watching. So if you enjoy it, please, please, please let the people on Reddit know. Let the people on Twitter know. Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Snapchat, whatever, if you're still using that. Also, go subscribe to our podcast feed. It's on Podcast One. It's Wrestling Sheet Radio. That's where you can find this show. You can find Wrestling Sheet Radio. Top 5 came back this weekend. That's where all that kind of stuff is. So go to Podcast One. You search Wrestling Sheet Radio. You can find Wrestling Sheet on all social media as well. It's at Wrestling Sheet. And make sure, while you're following, subscribing, everything, make sure you check everything that Collider is doing as well. Collider.com, Collider videos on YouTube, Collider podcasts, Collider, they got Collider everything, games, sports that Rocha's heavily involved in. So make sure you guys check out everything they're doing there as well.
Yeah, do that. And of course, you're going to follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram, my homage to The Rock. And also, all the things he was talking about, Collider Sports YouTube channel and podcast channel, subscribe there. We talk all things sports. It's Collider Sports Time. Number of guests. 2019 is going to bring even more stuff, so subscribe now and listen to that kind of stuff. And also, one shout out to the Schmodown. Spectacular happens this week. Today, we drop the preview. Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis preview the matches, who they think would win, what the storylines are, all that kind of jazz. You can find it on the Collider Video YouTube channel. You can watch it or listen to it there on the podcast channel. So there you go.
Title defense, right?
Huh?
Title defense?
Yeah. It's Hogan versus Andre. It's WrestleMania 3. It's Big Time versus The Outlaw. It's going to be crazy. It's maybe the greatest challenge I've ever had, and I hope I'm ready for it because everybody else is saying like it's a pick'em, and I hope I'm ready for it, but I want to destroy him so badly to prove that I can defend this belt. We'll see. All right, everybody. Thanks.
Don't fail, or you're kicked out of here. No.
Not again. Damn it. So much pressure. All right, well, we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Collider Body Slam with the SmackDown Live recap. See what that shakeup is going to be like, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
ProWrestlingSheet.com